Tuxer. Gobe.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
Welcome everyone inside the Saville Community Sport Centre here as we kick off the 2024 U Sports Women's Final 8 presented by the Westin Edmonton. Today we'll begin with quarterfinal Thursday here with the University of the Fraser Valley Cascades and the Carleton University Ravens. Glad you could join us here on CBC. My name is Grayson Knudsen, pleased to be joined by Eric Fawcett. First of all, Eric, we've got the defending champion Carleton Ravens here. They're the number 2 seed coming in. Maybe a little bit of a chip as they're the number 1 ranked team in U Sports in the latest rankings, but obviously the defending champs will have a big target on their back.
Yeah, they always do. They've built up such a brand, both on the women's and the men's side. And I think when people run into that logo, they're looking to give them their best shot. So, especially in a situation like this on a neutral floor for both teams, if you're Fraser Valley, you think, like, hey, this is our opportunity to unseat just a dominant program. And it's going to be interesting to see just exactly how they come out in order to do so.
Meanwhile, for UFV, they are back at the big dance for the first time since 2014. They won a bronze medal that year, but it's been 10 years since we've seen the Cascades on this stage, and they really don't have anything to lose here as the number 7 seed.
Not at all, and what I really like about the way they play is they have a defined style. They pound the ball inside, they play tough, they rebound the basketball, and I think that's what you need. Again, if you're going to go into a tournament like this as the lower seed and make some noise, you've got to have an identity, and they have that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Carleton can respond to that kind of inside presence.
we will have the starting lineups and tip-off coming off in just a couple of moments as we get things rolling here. The 2024 U Sports Women's Final 8 right here in Edmonton, Alberta, presented, of course, by Weston Edmonton. Stay with us. We'll be right back on CBC Sports to get things rolling. In-house announcer Matt getting everybody fired up, introducing the starting lineups. Should also mention our referees for today's game. Chris Brischuk, Justin Rocky, and Melissa Pham are the three officials who will take charge of this first quarterfinal. 4 of them here today. University of the Fraser Valley Cascades in the green and white, Carleton in those oh so recognizable white and red uniforms with a little bit of black trim. Ready to tip off will be Julia Tuchscherer and Tatiana Burke for the Ravens. Looking forward to this one. Must be tough to be in that first game of a national championship. Teams are just kind of getting in. Nobody's really familiar with the floor. UFV maybe a little bit more so, having played here in the regular season, but obviously a little bit of nerves on the first game.
Absolutely, and I think, yeah, like you mentioned, to kick things off, a little bit of a different setup here at the Saville Community Centre. It's which the team just did a tremendous job making it look tremendous in here with lights and LED screens and big speakers. But this is not your regular kind of setup, and I think again you're used to at the U Sports level. You play those later games on the weeknights if you're out east, or here in Canada West playing the Friday, Saturday, usually later. Well, we're at 12:30 local time. It's a little bit different. Quite frankly, it was freezing cold outside this morning in Edmonton, and let's see who can come out on fire.
Tip is controlled by Carleton. Dorcas Puisa will drive the lane, runs into traffic, nifty move, and Puisa opens up the scoring.
And 10 seconds into the game, we have exactly what Carleton basketball is. Create a double gap for a drive, get a paint touch, come to a jump stop and make something happen. That is Carleton Ravens basketball in one play, 10 seconds into a game.
Google Sadu will dish off to Nikki Kabuko. Now to Deanna Tuchscherer. She'll take a little mid-range jumper, air balls it, rebound by Jacqueline Urban. Urban will leave it there for Puisa. Puisa again driving, little stop move, throws it into traffic. Last touched by UFV. Carleton will inbound from pretty much right underneath the basket, tough spot. Urban throwing it in. Kiana J. Poulin into the corner for Callie Pockernick. Into some trouble. Here's Urban. Big body underneath, flips it up and in. Jacqueline Urban for two.
This is a big game for Urban. The Cascades are all about size inside, and she's the Carleton answer to that. So early you can see she gets the first punch with a bucket inside.
Deanna Tuchscherer wears 15. Julia wears 10. But she couldn't handle that pass inside, and another turnover for the Cascades here.
Resulted in a turnover, but nice seal inside there for Tuchscherer. Something I think they need to go to against the smaller Carleton front line.
Callie Pockernick driving, flips it up and scores. The Critelli Cup MVP, the Ontario University Association final MVP. Just adding to her list of accolades. Now she's doing the defensive work here against Kabuko. Deanna Tuchscherer will drop it off for Julia. Back to Deanna in the low post. Muscles her way in, flips it up. Couldn't get it to go. Julia off the glass. That won't go either, rebounded by the Ravens. Couple looks inside for the Tuchscherers, just not able to convert yet. In the corner, Poulin lets it fly a little bit short on a three. Rebounded by Kabuko, and she wants to push the tempo a little bit. Julia Tuchscherer. That one will drop, and the Cascades are on the board.
Maybe some of those nerves you were talking about earlier on the last possession, missing a couple close ones. Well, now they saw it through the hoop, and that is 3 straight shots right at the rim. They only made one of them, but if they keep getting them, it's probably going to be successful.
Brilliant ball movement by the Ravens, and it's a wide open three for Jacqueline Urban in the corner.
Carleton is so disciplined with their spacing, filling those corners and refilling on each drive, and man, that was a beautiful offensive possession.
9-2 Ravens lead here early on in the first quarter. Julia Tuchscherer for Sadu. Maddie Gobe a little bit quiet here early on. Flips one up, rebounded, and put back by Julia Tuchscherer. She's got all 4 points for the Cascades thus far. Pockernick directing traffic for the Ravens. Little ISO, she'll throw up a three, short. And we got a foul inside. This one will stay down at this end.
You can see Pockernick had the mismatch there on a slightly larger defender, and just the bench wanted to try to take her off the bounce, settled for the three, and now she'll go to the bench for it, but we know she can be such an explosive scorer.
Teresa Donato, number 8, coming in for the Ravens here. And she gets a touch immediately off the inbounds pass. Backs in her man, and that one will rim out. Good rebound by the Ravens, and Puisa back out for Donato on a reset. Donato driving. She got fouled on the way. Foul is on Google Sadu.
Donato is instant offense off the bench. We saw her get that seal off the baseline out of bounds to start, then gets a smooth kind of attack off the dribble. And so you can see she knows her role. Come in the game, provide offense, be a spark.
2 quick fouls on Sadu. She'll go to the bench along with Nikki Kabuko coming in. Bernie Letta, number 5, and also number 13, Fania Taylor for the Cascades. Poulin kicks that one out. Puisa driving, spinning, nice move. Puisa once again, that seems to be her go-to. And a foul there committed by Donato, a little aggressive in the backcourt.
And that is just, that's been Carleton basketball for decades. Get into the paint, come to a controlled jump stop, reverse pivot, get your defender in the air and finish. And it is so hard as a defender to not leave your feet on that initial drive. But you can see it's what the Carleton Ravens are looking for every single time, and they are so good at turning those defensive mistakes into easy points at the rim.
Here's Gobe, up ahead for Taylor. Off the bench, Natalie Raffler throws it in for Julia Tuchscherer. Letta. Now Gobe working, gets a little bit of a screen for Tuchscherer. Open jumper. And Raffler is going to travel. I called jumper because it looks like she was going to take, and maybe she should have there.
You and the defender both fell for that one. And again, she's brought some energy in there for the Cascades as well.
We've got a TV timeout here, so we will take a break and be right back. Carleton up 11-4 here, first quarterfinal at the U Sports Women's Final 8 in Edmonton.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite. Of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais. Quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
Back inside the Saville Centre here in Edmonton. Grayson Knudsen with Eric Fawcett alongside for this opening quarterfinal 2024 Women's Final 8 presented by Weston Edmonton. Ravens up by 7 here against the UFV Cascades. Ravens the number 2 seed. Fraser Valley number 7. A little bit of a stumble as they throw inside for Carleton. Here's Pockernick. Pockernick for 3. Yes, sir. Nothing but net there for Pockernick. She's at 5 points.
Cascades came out in a zone, which is something they don't play a lot of, trying to slow down the Ravens, and that possession wasn't going anywhere. And then Pockernick, who's a tremendous player, took over. And on the other end, what we keep saying the Cascades probably need to look to do, get that ball inside.
Leda with a great pass in for Julia Tuchscherer, who's got 6 points, all of the points for UFV at the moment. Corner 3, Urban got it again. Jacqueline Urban, 2 for 2 on those corner 3s. She's got 8 points. The Rookie of the Year from 2023 in U Sports. Now a turnover. That one won't go. Rebound collected by Gobe. Maddie Gobe, leading scorer for these Cascades. Dishes out. Leda. Raffler throws it in, looking for Tuchscherer, but well defended by Urban, and another turnover for UFV. Looks like UFV is going to call a timeout here. Head coach Al Tuchscherer supposed to talk things over here as this team is down by 11. in this opening quarter, and we're only midway through. Can't let things get too far out of hand early on.
No, you could tell that going to that matchup zone was a little bit of a counter they probably had going into this game. Hey, if we need, we can go to it. Well, they went to it, and the Ravens banged 2 threes in a row, which is probably a time that, yes, you need to call a timeout and say, okay, that was our first adjustment. What's our next one? And a game that's 17-6, when you're playing a talented opponent such as Carleton, you know, you're not going to be able to take those timeouts home with you. So you might as well use them early. Try to get out of those runs, close things off, and see what you can get going. This was just another turnover by Fraser Valley trying to throw the ball inside, and as much as that is the second turnover, like that is the advantage that they have is the size on the inside and the ability to finish in the paint. So again, in Carleton's ball pressure has made some of those passes in there difficult, but if you're Fraser Valley, you got to say, okay, we have an advantage in this game. It is the inside. What can we do coming out of this timeout to try to get some of those easy buckets?
It's 5 Ravens points on 4 Cascade turnovers at the moment. Talk about the threes. Carleton led the OUA in three-point percentage, 32.7% during the regular season. Defending the three wasn't the strength of UFV, 7th in Canada West. Only 25.6% opponent shot, but that was only good for 7th in the conference. Ravens inbounding. Here's Pockernick. Sticking with her is Letta. Poulin into the corner. Urban dishes. No room there for Duvnak. Out to Pockernick. 5 on the shot clock here. Somebody's got to put it up. And was that deflected? Looks like it was. It'll stay down here. 2 seconds on the shot clock here. Poulin will inbound, and it's got to be quick. Somehow open underneath the basket was Urban, but couldn't hit the rim on the shot. Back the other way come the Cascades with Taylor. Raffler into the corner. Driving is Letta, flips it up and in. Bernie Letta averaged just shy of 5 points in the regular season per game. Pockernick, deep three, that's good.
Just incredible range on her jumper, and it's been that way for years. And again, for her to be so impactful as a driver with so much speed and also be able to have that range, you can see why she's one of the best players in Canada.
Letta, Pockernick coming out to defend. Pockernick picks her pocket all by herself. Callie Pockernick, an easy deuce. Give Pockernick 10 points now here, and it's a 22-8 lead for the Ravens. Pockernick still applying pressure on Letta as she gets up floor. Taylor takes a shot. Teuchscherer grabs the rebound and scores again. Julia Teuchscherer has done a lot of the damage for UFV. Underneath, there's a block from Teuchscherer. Rebound missed. Another attempt here for Duvnak. Kicks it out. Open three. That'll rim out. Rebound. Raffler comes in and secures. Quick transition here for the Cascades. Gobe flips it up. She was fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Gobe is really good in those transition type scenarios, kind of semi-break. You can see her use the Euro step there, kind of rip through and draw that contact. She's always been very, very good at getting into the paint.
Yes, have no fear. 4 is here. A nice pocket of Cascades fans made their way in from the greater Vancouver area. A couple of Edmonton products too on the bench for UFV. Charlie Arnold and Madison Storm. Gobe, 2 for 2 at the line. 77.7% free throw shooter in the regular season. Buisa. She's attacking. Tatiana Burke now looking to get in the paint. Kicks it out to Buisa. Cascades defending well here until Buisa somehow wriggled her way into the lane and flipped it up and in. Long pass attempted here by Gobey on the floor. Buisa secures it, but gives it right away, and then Gobey will score. Little chaotic there at this end of the floor.
It's a fortunate break for the Cascades, but that's what they need. They need this game to be a little bit chaotic to get back into it. You can see them using the zone to kind of try to change up the tempo, and there they get a break just by a broken play.
Final 2 minutes of this opening quarter. Here's Poulin driving, missing, and a foul underneath, but it's going to stay at this end of the floor.
The zone is all about keeping the ball out of the middle of the floor, ideally. And again, with the Carleton team that's so good off the bounce, this is why the Cascades went to the zone. And on a play such as that one, you see, and the previous possession where there was a bucket at the rim, it was on straight line drives to the middle of the floor. So that's something that the Cascades do need to clean up. But it seems like they've defended well for much of the possession, but have just broken down once at the end. So it has been a nice change of pace.
Gobey called for the foul there. Replay showed her grabbing the arm of her opponent. Driving Poulin. That'll go. First points of the game for Kiana Jade Poulin. Kabuko. Esther Allison on the floor now for UFV. Deanna Tuchscher back out there as well. Gobey open for three. That'll rim out. Rebound secured. Flipped up and in by Durelia. Durelia, the former Carleton University Raven, on the floor here for UFV. Buisa into the corner, and Burke traveled. See that sometimes they get the pass, they take a couple steps before they dribble, and Burke got caught there.
Yeah, not a lot of space in those corners. I think she saw the long closeout and her eyes lit up. She knew she could get into the paint and just thought a little bit too quickly. But you don't often see those kind of mistakes from the Ravens. So they're so disciplined in those settings, playing out of the skip and driving off a closeout. So I don't know if we'll see that one again, but a break for Fraser Valley there.
Still a 10-point Raven lead. Duralia hands that one off to Gobey. Open is Allison. Quick close though. 5 on the shot clock for Gobey. Flips it up again. That's a little bit short. Rebound secured by the Ravens.
See, they're looking for something quick. The 2-for-1 call from the bench.
And they nail it. A 3 in the corner from Poulin.
Again, that's just so smart from the Ravens. They see the clock, know they have an opportunity for.
Has to be.
It looks like
that violation there.
And it looks like the 2-for-1's going to turn into a 2-for-0 because the Cascades just frustrated, can't get the ball in. But really, again, high IQ play from the Ravens to push the ball up the floor, look for the first shot they can get. It's a clean look from the corner, and then hypothetically they could have defended and had another possession. Instead, they just force a 8-second violation. Now get essentially I guess with the 14-second reset, another chance. So the Fraser Valley should get the ball, but. Really good high IQ play on both ends from Carleton.
Pockernick lets it fly again. Oh, a wedgie. That ball is stuck.
Start the wedgie counter at 1 for the weekend. We'll see how many we can get here before the end. And as is customary, it's the broom that comes out to pop it out.
So 14.7 on the clock here. It'll be Cascades ball. Shot clock will be off for the rest of the quarter. Letta, nice move in the backcourt. Allison driving off the glass, rebound. Tuchscherer in a sea of white shirts. Couldn't get it to go. And this quarter, I think, is going to come to an end, or will we have a little bit of time left? Looks like 1/10 they're going to put on the clock. So we'll have a jump ball or a turnover, or a change of possession, pardon me.
So this is an unfortunate move for Fraser Valley because they just lost the possession arrow, or Carleton, I should say, lost the possession arrow to now have 1 second on the clock. So pretty good by the Fraser Valley defense. I realize they didn't change the possession from that previous wedgie, but now Carleton, who was going to get the ball to start the quarter. The second quarter, now just lost their possession to have a half-court heave. So pretty good by the Cascades to force pressure and force the jump ball there, as they'll now get the ball coming into the second.
An impressive first quarter from the Carleton Ravens. The defending champions have a 13-point lead on the Fraser Valley Cascades. Stay with us, second quarter coming up shortly right here on CBC. Big thank you to all of our sponsors here for the 2024 Women's Final Eight here, presented by Weston Edmonton. UFV find themselves down by 13 after the first quarter. Been a bit of a rude welcome back to the national championship for the Cascades. Making their fourth appearance, their first again since 2014 when they won a bronze medal. Carleton, the defending champions, seventh appearance here at a national tournament for their women's program. Great regular season for the Ravens, only lost one game, that was to the Ottawa GGs. 17-3 UFV in the regular season. They wound up winning the bronze medal in Canada West to secure a berth here in Edmonton. Second quarter underway. Glad you could be with us here on CBC. Grayson Knutson with Eric Fawcett. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday as we get a foul inside. They were looking to get it into Deanna Tuchscherer, but she was hacked.
A lot of nice off-ball action from the Cascades as they try to get these players sealing inside, and a little bit of a mismatch there. All the defender can do is be physical with the hands and hope it's not called. So again, that is the identity of Fraser Valley, to play physical, play inside.
And let this lady do her thing. Gobe kicks it out. Wide open three is hit by Letta. 30% three-point shooter in the regular season, Bernie Letta. But she's got 5 points.
Yeah, give her a wide open look like that, she'll knock him down all day. And only one three-point attempt in the first quarter from the Cascades. I think they can let more fly because they're so dominant in the offensive glass if they do miss.
Certainly not their game. 9th in the conference in three-point percentage, 28% in the regular season, as that one will rim out from Poulin. Letta dumps it off inside. Deanna Tuchscherer forced out deep, then she drives. A strong move from Tuchscherer.
Beautiful offense just to take what the defense is giving her, and that in this case it was the baseline. Spins there with authority, and really nice touch.
Open in the corner for three. That one a little bit too strong from Donato, and then a foul called on Buisa. She was aggressive going after that rebound. First foul against number 7 in white. Donato and Duvnak will come out for the Ravens. We see Burke and Pockernick come back in. Gobe. This is Julia Tuchscherer for Deanna. Great pass, the Tuchscherer sisters combining there.
Again, those flex cuts across the lane. I mean, they're as old as basketball itself, and they're still so hard to guard. You put good, talented interior players in those actions, easy to get a bucket.
Loose ball, hustling over to grab it was Burke, and she traveled. Just left her feet when she got bumped there and wound up getting called for the travel. But what a start to this second quarter for the Cascades, exactly what they needed.
Oh, couldn't go much better. And again, I think that Carleton started the quarter with a little bit of their energy unit, a lot of piece off the bench, quickly got Pockernick back in. So we'll see if they can settle things down. But if you're the Cascades, you've got to be ecstatic with how things are going so far.
Another foul here called on the Ravens. That time it was Poulin a little bit aggressive on Kabuko.
Not a lot of fouls in the first quarter, so they're not piling up. Actually, a really nice pace to that first quarter. But now, again, as you start to see the defensive pressure kind of pick up, some of those fouls a little bit far from the hoop are starting to come up.
Already 3 in the quarter on Carleton, and we've played just shy of 2 minutes. And Pockernick picked that inbounds pass off. Numbers here for the Ravens in transition. What a move. Pockernick stopping and popping. Didn't get it to go. Good strong rebound. Kick back out to Pockernick. Buisa driving on Gobe. Loves that little turn move. And this time it's grabbed by UFV. Quickly up ahead. Google Sadu drops it off. Letta lane to the basket. A little bit strong. Pockernick wants to go right to the basket for the Ravens. Fouled on her way there by Sadu. And she'll go to the line for a pair.
Her change of pace is outrageously good. You see her use that one dribble in transition, high dribble to change the pace, then puts her shoulder down and gets into the paint. It's just when she switches gears, there's just not many people in the country who can keep up with her. So again, such a talented scoring display.
And Sadu's been the one who's had some trouble. That's already her third foul, so she comes out. Oh, maybe she wants to come back in here. Pockernick makes the first. 72.8% free throw shooter in the regular season. The 4th year out of Oakville, Ontario. Made them both. Sadu will come in now for Letta.
A little bit of a discussion here about whether Sadu can actually come back into the game. And that's where you can tell that we've got the ace squad here, not only on the floor as officials, but at the table. Good catch from them to say that there was not an actual play that elapsed, and therefore that...
right, because she left at the free throw. She can't
yes,
come in
there wasn't
the free throw again.
A little bit of an administrative error, I suppose we could say, and it's something you could actually probably get away with in a lot of scenarios, but we got the crack crew on the game this morning, and she'll have to wait to come back in.
So Letta's on the floor, working with Gobe. Here is Letta. Taylor had a look, took it down instead. Deanna Tuchscherer for 3. Little strong rebound by Pockernick. Pockernick pushing the pace. Poulin kicks it out. Buisa looking for that three-point line there. Now she found it. Unfortunately, couldn't make the shot. Urban, though, strong rebound. Poulin driving. Partial block there, I believe, from Letta. And now we've got ourselves a possession here for Carleton. Oh, no, they are going to give it to UFV, pardon me. Oh, yeah, you can see their last touch off the fingertips of Poulin. So Sadu's back in there now. Gives it to Deanna Tuchscherer for Julia. Gobe. Lost the handle briefly. She's under some duress. And we've got another change of possession. Arrow pointing Carleton's way. And we've got a TV timeout here. Cascades have cut the lead down to 8. It's 31-23 Ravens, 6:27 to go here in quarter number 2, women's final 8, U Sports from Edmonton. We'll be right back on CBC. Back inside the Saville Centre, a look inside the Carleton Ravens huddle. The number 2 seed here in the defending national champions. It was their second bronze baby they won last year. Head coach Danny Sinclair, the OUA Coach of the Year for 2024.
One interesting aspect about nationals this year is what we just saw, and that's the TV timeout. And that's something you don't normally have in U Sports basketball play, and it's going to make for a few more stoppages, and those stoppages are opportunities to draw up different plays. We saw that in the first quarter with the Cascades going to a zone, making tweaks, going out of it, and here we have another TV timeout where both teams can kind of adjust, and it might be the Ravens who are looking to say, okay, what changes can we make?
There was a lane there for Donato, which he wound up losing the ball. We've got another jump ball situation, the arrow pointing the way of the Cascades this time. Ravens really applying some pressure here in the backcourt. You can see Julia Turkscher just getting it over the timeline. Taylor backing in. Turkscher to Turkscher. That was Julia to Deanna. Deanna stops, pops, rims out, rebound Urban. Pockerdick. Oh, what a move, got by Sidhu. Couldn't finish, unfortunately, and the rebound collected by UFV. They want to go quick. Gobe, transition 3, got it! Maddie Gobe, 7 points now, it's a 5-point game. Pockernick, Puisa, nice feed inside, and an easy bucket for Duvnak. Deanna Turkscher quickly ahead for Julia. Somehow strong arms that one in.
Wow, tough catch in traffic, but she gets it calmly and lays it in, and the Cascades have something going here offensively.
There's good ball movement again, same play the Ravens just scored on. Doesn't quite work this time as Urban tipped away from Pockernick. Quick check of the clock, 7 to go. Pockernick stops. Puisa, corner 3. Little short, able to get her own rebound though, and a fresh 14 for Carleton. Duvnak, Urban blocked. Nice play there defensively by UFV. And Sidhu was just not quite looking back at Gobe there, and a turnover again against UFV.
You know, the Cascades don't play particularly fast generally. They don't shoot a lot of threes generally. But we saw in the previous possessions, it was playing fast, getting a good looking 3 in transition that kind of got something going. So maybe a little bit uncomfortable there as they try to push it. But at the same time, they find their way back in this game. We talked about the TV timeout. They use it to go back to a zone, and the zone has been working after some initial threes from Carleton in the first quarter. It's kind of been a pretty good look here from the Cascades.
Pockernick working here on Raffler. Not able to get it to go. Who'd that go off of? Carleton last, so this will be Cascades ball, and they want to make a couple of subs. We see Julia Turkscher, Fania Taylor come out, Nikki Kabuko and Duralia coming back in. Marikia Duralia, pardon me. Number 23 out of Chilliwack. Here's Sidhu. Gives it to Duralia. Down low, Raffler turns. Didn't take a friendly bounce. Rebound, Carleton. Poulan trying to do it all herself here. Stopped up. Pockernick. Gets a screen. Kicks it out. Puisa, corner 3. Hit both sides of the rim. Did not go in. Carleton a little bit cold right now from the 3-point line. Duralia into the corner, Gobe. Raffler opens herself up. Opposite corner, 3 ball. A little bit strong from Kabuko. Rebound secured by the Ravens. Kabuko aggressive on Pockernick here. And eventually commits a foul. Just the second one of the quarter on the Cascades. And the first of the game on Kabuko.
It's admirable to try to guard Pockernick that far from the hoop, and I think the first 2 turns stayed with him. You're probably not going to get a third against a ball handler that's that talented. Maybe that's the time you start to back off. You already saw about 6 seconds off the shot clock, and if they can slow down the Carleton offense by taking off just even 6 seconds like that, it's effective. But hey, sometimes you pick up a foul like that, and you just let her know it's not going to be easy getting it across half.
Al Tuchscherer, the Cascades head coach of 23 years, taking a timeout here, and what a moment this must be for him and his 2 daughters, Julia and Deanna, to come back to the Final 8 and to share this moment together must be very special for that group.
Absolutely, and you hope it's not the last, and that's one thing with this Cascades team. They only have 1 fifth-year player on the roster, so to see them at Nationals already, to see them, playing a Carleton team tight early, it's and you think about the fact that a lot of these girls could return for 1 or more years, and maybe this is really a start of something with Fraser Valley.
Well, that was one of the things that in a preview article that head coach Al Tuchscherer talked about, was that group, the 4th years like Maddie Gobet and Deanna Tuchscherer. It was their goal to eventually get back here, and it was a slow build up to this point for the Cascades, but they have returned in a big way. A bronze medal again at the Canada West tournament. They defeated Victoria in that bronze medal match after falling to a very good Saskatchewan team in the semifinals. We'll see the top-seeded Huskies at 6 o'clock local tonight when they take on the wild card team, the Calgary Dinos, coming in as the 8th seed. We've also got St. Mary's out of the AUS taking on OUA runners-up Queens in our next game. And then we'll wrap things up with the hosts, the Alberta Pandas, up against the Quebec champions, the undefeated Laval Rouge-et-Or, at 8 o'clock local this evening. Here's Pockernick into the corner, and now Duvnak, Poulin, underneath, nice pass. Urban got hacked by Gobe, but the ball movement from Carleton offensively is brilliant.
So if you saw in that possession, Sidiou was just going all out trying to deny Pockernick the basketball. And it was pretty clear that was from the inbound, that's what they were going to try to do, keep the ball out of her hands. But that meant that Carleton was playing 4-on-4, which made for a whole lot of space. And once you kind of get that first initial closeout, the dominoes start to fall pretty quickly. So you get a shot at the rim, turns into a foul.
Urban will miss both, unfortunately, and the rebound secured by Duralia. So Cascades get away with that one, as Urban's a 72.2% free throw shooter. Duralia, nice feed. Raffler couldn't finish. Hacked it away comes Pockernick, quickly ahead. Donato thought about it. She'll take a little midi instead. And this was last touched by UFV. Stays Carleton ball. 2:29 to go in the half. Cascades have taken a 12-point deficit after the first quarter and have cut it down to 5, have yet to get any closer than this. Donato, spinning in the lane, flings it up and in. Teresa Donato, her first bucket of the game. Kabuko spins by her defender. And Julia Tuchscherer, not once, second time, got fouled. Off to the free throw line for Tuchscherer.
It's good defense by Carleton. They're on the catch with a double team. But when you've got such a size advantage, even sometimes as a defense, when you play it well, it's hard to secure that offensive rebound.
I believe they called that foul on Pockernick, her second. Tuchscherer will make the first. Julia, 74.2% from the free throw line during the regular season. Raffler got a piece of the rebound, but wound up steering it out of play. Donato gets it over the timeline for the Ravens. Donato sees a lane, will throw it up, and it won't drop, but that's going to be a They are going to get the charge on Donato.
We'll get a great look at it on the replay.
See, Rathler just got outside the restricted area, very close. Like she was for sure set. It was just a matter of whether she was outside of that little arc.
Yeah, I was going to wait for you to give the read on that one because I thought it was could have gone either way for sure. But those charge calls are always difficult.
Julia Tuchscherer gives off to Letta. And denying the pass inside was Buisa. Leads to another turnover. Buisa starts the charge. Donato in the corner. Donato flips it up. That one won't go. Rebound collected by Duvnak. Now Buisa, strong to the hoop, defers to Poulin. Poulin, good block by Tuchscherer. Quickly in transition, Sadu. Letta inside, Julia Tuchscherer made the block at one end, got fouled at the other. She is having a wonderful afternoon so far.
Oh, starting with the block, just rotating out of nowhere. Didn't think she was going to get there, but uses her length to recover. And then on the other end, again, anytime she can get a catch with 2 feet in the paint, it's just so difficult for Carleton to match up with. You like to see there just on the replay as in transition, she just makes a straight line drive under one rim where she gets the block right towards the other rim. Even if she doesn't get the ball, it's going to cause a lot of defensive attention, a lot of gravity, and then if the defense doesn't pick her up, she's got an easy catch.
2 for 2 at the line makes it a 4-point game. Closest the Cascades have been since early on. Buisa kicks that one out. Donato will stop and pop and hits.
I was talking to Aubrey Dory-Havens, point guard for the men's team before the game, and he said with Donato, watch for her going left, watch for her mid-range game. We've already seen that a couple of times.
Deanna Tuchscherer tried to get it inside to Julia, just way too many white jerseys in the way. Look at Urban going end to end. And getting back was Kabuko, deflects it out of bounds. Will stay with the Ravens, 33.3 left in the half. 18 on the shot clock for Carleton. If you want that 2 for 1, it's got to be quick. Donato. Poulin for 3. Too strong, rebound gathered in by Sadu. About a 1 second difference shot clock, game clock here. Letta. Looking for an option, finds Deanna Tuchscherer. Knocked away from her, she's got it back. And then fouled. So she'll go to the line. Foul called there on Urban.
Those are backbreakers as a defense. You defend into late in the clock. Cascades didn't have a lot going, and because you're in the bonus, it's free throw. So again, just maybe a little bit more discipline is needed from some of those Ravens, and that's what the coaches have been saying to our left as well.
Deanna Tuchscherer only a 51.7% free throw shooter in the regular season anyways.
I thought we might see Pockernick come back in the game here for the Ravens, and we will. Obviously, Carleton does not want to see her pick up another foul, though, like you said, this could be a missed free throw, not a great percentage, and we won't see Pockernick back in the game.
Missed them both. Ball's up for grabs. Carleton's got it. Got to be a long heave for Poulin. Oh, just rimmed out. Great look there to end the half for Poulin. And UFV has cut that 12-point first quarter deficit in half, trailing 37-31 here at the break. Thoughts on that opening 20 minutes, Eric?
I think for Carleton, they've got to be really happy with a lot of the shots they got. Their game is so much isolate, slash and kick out to shooters, and I think that they got a lot of those wide open threes, and they didn't fall in the second quarter, but I still think they're going to be happy with the quality of shot they were getting. But also with the Cascades, I think that they're going to be happy with how they were able to establish a little bit of the inside offensively and found a little bit with that zone, mixing it in with their man defense to kind of keep the Ravens off balance. So I do think both teams are going to be somewhat happy with how they played. I think that those, early jitters we talked about where both teams maybe weren't at their best for the first couple minutes, that's long gone. These teams are playing a high level now, and I think the final 20 minutes are going to be very impressive from both sides.
Callie Pockernick leading the Ravens with 12 points. Julia Tuchscherer leads all scorers for the Cascades, 13 points for her. 37-31, Carleton and Frontier. Second half action coming up shortly. Stay with us. The 2024 Women's Final 8 presented by the Westin Edmonton. We'll be right back on CBC Sports. Welcome back inside the Saville Community Sport Centre here on the South Campus of the University of Alberta in Edmonton. We're just getting ready to start the third quarter of quarterfinal number 1 between the number 2 seed Carleton Ravens and number 7 seed University of the Fraser Valley Cascade. So glad you could join us here on your Thursday with Eric Fawcett alongside. My name is Grayson Knutson. Eric, it's a 6-point Carleton lead at the break. Slight edge to the Fraser Valley Cascades in terms of shooting percentage, but Carleton put up 12 more shots. What do you make of the first 20 minutes, and what are you looking for in the next 20?
Well, in terms of the total number of shots, I think you can start to see where that ball pressure and ability to turn over opponents is probably in Carleton's favor. The turnover column is currently well in the favor of the Ravens, who have forced, with their ball pressure and speed, a lot of steals, and it is been really the difference so far. The points in the paint have been similar. We saw the three-pointers really falling for Carleton in the first quarter. They did not fall for them in the second, which is something to watch for. But, you know, styles make fights. That's what makes basketball such a cool sport. You can play so many different ways. And here are two teams that play very different styles, and we'll see which style wins out.
Turnovers were 10 for UFV, just 4 for Carleton. Rebounds, just 1 more for the Cascades. 22-21 in that category. Here's Pockernick flipping it up and in. Pockernick getting right back on the right foot after missing the end of that second quarter with a little bit of foul trouble, just keeping her safe. Up to 14 now. Kugel Sadu for Maddie Gobe. Gobe just 7 points in that first half, averages almost 18 a game for the Cascades. Tiana Tuchscherer, they're going to call a block here. Foul committed there by Tatiana Burke. First foul on Burke in the game. 14 on the clock here for the Cascades as they inbound from the end line. In for Julia Tuchscherer. She had a great first half, 13 points. Deanna into the corner. Trying to drive her way to the hoop. There was Kabuko. She got fouled and will go to the free throw line.
It's the second time to start the third quarter that Carleton defends really well, gets in a late clock scenario and commits a foul. But pretty savvy play there once you get the head of steam, attack that hip of the defender, put the refs in a position to call that block.
Nikki Kabuko, a 50% free throw shooter, makes her first. Kabuko out of Port Moody, BC. Made them both. Here's Pockernick. Second team U Sports All-Star last season. Gobe disrupted that, but the ball fell kindly for Burke, who puts it home.
The ball movement from Carleton, who likes to make that swing before an entry. It's really tough to guard, and it seems like every time they go to it, they're getting the ball to the middle.
Kabuko, Julia Tuchscherer, Gobe in the lane. Deanna Tuchscherer looking for an outlet. Swung to the corner for Sadu. 3 on the shot clock. Great defense by the Ravens, and then a foul committed by Deanna Tuchscherer.
Really good defensive possession there from Carleton. Rotated with every skip, got into help, made things difficult, and then actually what turned out to be a pretty good foul there from Tuchscherer, who breaks up what would have been a transition opportunity there for Carleton. They get to set their defense.
Just her first foul of the game. Pockernick. She was dispossessed there. Good hands from Kabuko to knock it loose. Gobe, Julia Tuchscherer, nice spin. Couldn't finish, unfortunately, but the ball will stay with UFV. Eight-point lead for the Ravens. Let's look at their coaching staff. Sadu, Gobe, driving along the baseline, kicks it back out. Sadu for 3. Couldn't quite make it go that time. Fraser Valley was 2 for 5 on their threes in the first half. Nice move by Poulin. Kiana J. Poulin.
stop me if I've said this before, but paint touch, jump stop, reverse pivot. You could just see it's something that they drill every single day in Carleton practice, and it is so effective.
This looks a lot more like the first quarter than the second quarter, as the Cascades look to get something going offensively here. Gobe gets a screen from Julia Tuchscherer. Deanna's got to put it up, and it's going to be a 24-second violation on the Cascades. Another great defensive possession for the Ravens.
Again, just giving up nothing on the perimeter, and when you get into a late clock situation with the ball in the hands of your forwards, that's an uncomfortable place to be as an offense, and Carleton just doing incredible work with their perimeter defense to force that.
Poulin. Pockernick for three, yes! And a quick timeout for the Cascades, as this is a 9-2 run for the Ravens to begin quarter number 3. We will take a quick break and be right back. 2024 Women's Final 8 presented by Weston Edmonton right here on CBC. Back inside the Saville Centre, an early timeout here in quarter number 3 from Al Tuchscherer, the head coach of the University of the Fraser Valley. Carleton, 46-33, have the lead here. 13 points equals their, or sorry, just one shy of their biggest lead, which was 14 back in the first quarter.
I like this timeout for Fraser Valley. We saw it something similar in the first quarter where things were maybe starting to slip out of their hands early. Use the timeout, just kind of calm everything down, and they were able to kind of keep things in touch until the second quarter when they could go on a little bit of a run. Pretty quickly things got stretched out here to a 13-point Carleton lead, so we'll see if the timeout here does the same thing as it did in the first quarter, but I think you've got to try, so good work from the staff there from Fraser Valley.
Again, Carleton's not going to make it easy, making them go the full length of the court with some sort of defensive pressure. And it stripped there from Jacqueline Urban, and she got fouled.
And that's a big call. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike, which is shots and the ball for Carleton. Just as the last player back, that's where you'll see that foul called. But again, it's unfortunate. You know, as a center, you're not used to being pressured that far out, catching the ball 35 feet from the rim and having a defender right in your grill. So, again, and that's what Carleton does to you. They have players like that who can force things on the perimeter, ball pressure like teams have never seen, and make it difficult. So, again, this is going to be shots in the ball as the officials figure this out. Both teams who enjoy using substitutions at a high level, making the officials stay on their toes as to who's in the game.
Oceane Kunku will come in to take the free throws because Urban, when she fell to the floor there, scraped her left elbow, got a little bit of a cut, so she's got some blood that she's got to clean up before she can come back in. So that's why Kunku is taking these free throws. And she'll split a pair from the line. And again, Ravens will get the ball.
Tough to come in cold and take free throws, but Kunku is a fantastic shooter, both from the free throw line and especially from the three-point line. That's where she's been really utilized by the Ravens this year.
So again, it was 2 shots and the ball as the Ravens have equaled their largest lead at 14 points. Buisa, Pockernick, defended by Letta. Pockernick, 5 on the clock, into the corner. Kunku for 3. That one's going to rim out. Rebound collected by Letta, and she wants to push the pace here. Sidhu, Gobe. Duralia kicks it out. Sidhu for 3. That one's not going to go either. 3-ball, again, not the strength of Fraser Valley. Pockernick. Oh, crafty with the footwork, just couldn't get it to go. Rebound secured by the Ravens. They've got another opportunity here. Poulin slowing things down. She'll drive. Buisa. Kunku had to fire quickly. That one won't go, and the rebound collected by the Cascades. Letta. Rathler. Gobe into the low post. Good attempt there from Duralia, just would not fall. Cascades are ice cold at the moment. Pockernick directing traffic. Duvnak trying to set a screen for her, winds up coming to Poulin, flings it into the corner off a fingertip of a Cascade player. There's Urban coming back in. She's lost the undershirt there, and you can see on the left elbow that patch, keeping the scrape clean.
When she had to go off, she was at full sprint to go get that dealt with. She could not wait to get back into the game. So, yeah, you can tell that she this means a lot to her, and she's just excited to be back in.
Little short-range jumper is hit by Teresa Donato. 16-point lead now for Carleton. Fraser Valley needs something to go their way here soon. It's a bit of a perilous point in this game. Driving Gobe, pass for Duralia. Sadu, Gobe, 5 on the clock. Short jumper is missed, a rebound, grabbed by Poulin. And she'll just race up the floor. Flings it to the corner, there's a look. And a little bit short that time from Donato. And a foul is going to be called. Couple of subs being made by the Ravens. And the Cascades will try to sneak one in as well. Possession for UFV. Natalie Rathler, that only 5th year on this Cascade squad out of Langley, inbounding the ball. Letta to Rathler. Duralia. Get it into Rathler again. Letta. And maybe a bit of a moving screen there. Rathler's going to get called for the foul. It's her first. .4:25 to go, third quarter. Ravens have regained command of this one. Pockernick. Poulin underneath the bucket. You can see Tatiana Burke was battling for position, and she got fouled by Duralia. Fourth foul of the quarter against the Cascades. So it'll be shots the rest of the way for Carleton. Poulin inbounding and turns it over. Racing the other direction is Letta. Look at Pockernick get back. Unfortunately, this clipped her a little bit too much. That'll be foul number 3 on the Raven Star. Fraser Valley still looking to score some points off turnovers. Haven't been able to do so in this game, and Carleton has taken advantage of turnovers to create offense the other way. There's Dorcas Buisa out of Gatineau, Quebec. First free throw missed from Letta. Makes the second one. Buisa. Burke setting a screen. Donato now. Back for Buisa. Donato once more. 7 on the clock. Donato, look at Kabuko come in, couldn't take it away. And the shot was missed from Burke. Kabuko to Deanna Tuchscherer. In for Duralia. Tuchscherer. Gobe, corner look for 3, Kabuko. That'll go, friendly bounce off the back rim. And a timeout's gonna be taken by Carleton as the lead is down to 12 now. Cascades with the last 4 points in this game, but still work to do for UFV.
Yeah, I like Kabuko getting it done first on the defensive end with a really high IQ play to go and double down on a player that had her back to her, and then on the other end hitting a 3. And that's what's going to be big. When you're down double digits, you normally need to make some threes to get back in the game. And that's the thing about Fraser Valley. They don't take a lot of threes. They don't make a lot of threes. So that recipe can be a little bit difficult when you're trying to get back in a game. So they might need to start letting a few fly and seeing what happens. And again, they have had a lot of success this year offensive rebounding. So maybe you let a few of those threes fly, and maybe if you don't get them, you get some easy ones at the rim. So again, this is a quarter that has not seen a ton of points for the Cascades yet. Hopefully that three-point shot kind of breaks the seal for them. But to be honest, I think at this point they're just they've got to be happy that, again, they took another punch from Carleton, and now they're only down 12.
Fraser Valley led Canada West in field goal percentage, just over 44%, but they were 9th in three-point percentage. They get a lot of their buckets again inside the Tuchscherer sisters, and as well as Gobe's ability to squeeze herself into the lane, making easy buckets. Carleton, though, led the OUA in defensive points per game, also defensive field goal percentage as well. They don't make it easy on the opponents, and they haven't for decades. Poulin dishes inside, tough catch there for Duvnard. Little free throw line jumper will drop for Urban. Deanna Tuchscherer, nice move there. Urban, though, stops her progress. Gobe. Tuchscherer, back to Gobe. She fires from distance. Big rebound comes to Julia. Deanna for 3. That one is an air ball. Poulin will grab the board and stay in bounds. A little bit of a unnecessary foul there from Kabuko. Don't want to take that because now again that's the 5th of the quarter, and it'll put the Ravens on the line. Kiana Jade Poulin, the second year from Montreal, makes the first. 62% from the free throw line in the regular season. Poulin will make them both. 9 points for her in this one. It's another 16-point lead for the Ravens. Julia Tuchscherer tied up there. Kabuko from distance. A little bit too strong. Rebound gathered by Letta. Deanna backing down her opponent. Gives to Julia. Lots of hands in the way, but she's able to flip it up and in. Julia Tuchscherer, 15 points for the Cascades.
Like you said, a lot of hands in there, but you just muscles it up through them. And again, I like to see the three-point shots kind of increasing there for the Cascades. They didn't hit one, but again, they keep getting offensive rebounds, and you scramble the defense with those offensive rebounds, and you get early touches.
You have to keep the defense honest as well, as that's a great move from Buisa. Tuchscherer gave that one away. Poulin with a steal. Transition opportunity. Poulin dishes, and that will fall for Zarina Duvnak. 4 points for her now. That's Deanna to Julia. The Tuchscherers being forced way outside here. Jacqueline Urban doing a good defensive job, and then away from the ball. Got a foul here. That was on Buisa.
Again, you can see that ball pressure on those catches is just something that as a forward you're not used to, but with the athleticism that's all up and down the lineup for Carleton, it doesn't matter the player, it doesn't matter the position. They pressure on the perimeter, and it makes it so difficult to run offense. And the Cascades will be somewhat lucky that in the bonus, this off-ball foul will be some free throws that hopefully can turn into some easy points.
Gobe will miss the first. Both teams now into the bonus. There's Jacqueline Urban. Followed up that U Sports Rookie of the Year season with another fine campaign. 11.2 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game for number 22 in white. And there from Kabuko. And this one's going to stay with Carleton. 11 on the shot clock. Exactly 1 minute left here in quarter three. Donato. That one won't go. Rebound. Trickles back. Donato will save it. Trying to get in again. Good hand there from Letta. And out on the run is Deanna Tuchscherer. Steps around. That was stopped. Rebound. Now Gobe for three. That'll fall. Straight on three for Maddie Gobe. Poulin. Kunku into the corner. And now it's Rice under some duress. She got fouled. Kinley Rice from Douglas into the game. Foul there called on Duralia, her second. So Rice to the line. Rice, not a ton of opportunities from the free throw line in the regular season, 50% shooter. Misses the first. Second won't go either. Rebound secured by the Cascades. They could hold for the last. What defense is that from Poulin? And she was fouled as well. That is brilliant from Kiana J. Poulin.
She has just been such a disruptive defender on the ball all game long. And there, what you see with some players that are so good at stealing the ball one-on-one, using the inside hand to reach, you're not going to get as many fouls that way. And they're just a clean pick. And then a little bit of maybe a frustration foul on Gobe, who's, again, not as much used to having to deal with that kind of ball pressure.
Third foul, on Gobe in the game, but here's another look at it.
It just seems like every guard on Carleton's roster is long, athletic, can pressure the ball. It just seems like constantly for these guards of Fraser Valley, things are difficult.
Flipped up, that won't go for Gobe. 1 second left on the clock, and it will be Cascade ball. So I'm sure they have some sort of set play to run with a late shot clock situation on an inbounds, and we'll get to see it here.
Yeah, I'm looking at something at the rim. They've got the size advantage. See if you can throw something up there. You might draw foul.
Said it'll be a three, and I think that Kunku might have got a piece of that one on the attempt from Letta. And so after 3 quarters, it's a 16-point lead for the Ravens at 59-43. A great third quarter there for Carleton.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see some of the depth, some of the athleticism, some of the speed starting to wear down the Cascades. And again, like we're talking about, it just seems like every guard starting for Carleton, every guard off the bench, they play at such a high tempo. They guard 94 feet. It's just so uncomfortable to play against them, and it feels like they're starting to get an edge in that area. And that earlier edge that the Cascades had on the inside, they haven't been able to establish as much in the second half.
Fourth quarter coming up. Cascades are going to need a big-time effort. We'll see if they can come back when we return to the 2024 Women's Final 8, presented by the Westin Edmonton. Back inside the Saville Centre here in Edmonton, getting ready for the fourth quarter between Carleton and UFV. Grayson Knutson, Eric Fawcett alongside. Eric, we had a chance to look at some of the stats there after three, and really Carleton's defense is forcing a drop in UFV shooting percentage and an increase in their turnovers.
Yeah, I think that says about the story of this game, and I think that the Raven guards deserve so much credit for being the engine behind that defense. So we'll see what the Cascades can kind of do to get back into it. It does not help to turn the ball over, trying to jam it inside here on the first possession, and a run out for Carleton.
How nice is that? Urban with the steal, and then she sets up Duvnak for an easy bucket. Deanna Tuchscherer. She's under pressure. Fania Taylor. Now Bernie Letta tosses one up. That'll rattle around and in.
Nasty hesitation to get into the paint. Left her defender in cement. That was really nice.
Letta with 8 points now for the Cascades. Pockernick across for Poulam. Buisa. Urban had to throw that one up as she left her feet. Pockernick driving baseline. Kicks it out. Buisa, 3 on the clock. Turns it over. Cascades looking to push. Up ahead for Kabuko. Back for Letta. Down low, Tuchscherer with good position inside. That's an easy bucket for Deanna Tuchscherer.
Love that possession. Get your rim running center, a seal, reverse the ball for an easier entry. That's what the Cascades need to look to right now.
Poulam. Into the corner, Buisa with some space here. Flings it back to Poulam. Free throw line jumper, Jacqueline Urban. 2 more for her, a dozen on the game.
I love she caught that ball. She was looking at Pockernick, looking to fire that to the corner, and then just realized no one was guarding her. Turned around and hit the jumper.
Tuchscherer hands that one off. Letta for 3 off the rim. Big rebound gathered in by the Ravens, and they look to push again. Long pass, Tuchscherer intercepts. Numbers here for the Cascades. As a little bit late coming back there was Duvnik. They can't take advantage though. Taylor, mid-range jumper will fall. First bucket of the afternoon for the Langley product, Fania Taylor. Callie Pockernick's got 17 to lead all scorers. Poulam. Back to Pockernick. Into the corner, Buisa. Kicks it back out for Pockernick. 3 on the clock. She's got to let it fly. Blocked. Oh, they got her on the arm. Kabuko looked like she got a lot of the ball, but referees are a lot closer, and you can see Al Tuchscherer frustrated by that.
Yeah, the crossover to set it up. You see that? Ooh, 1-2 gets the mid-range, and I think that was, yeah, pretty good look at it from the official. And again, that's so difficult to contest a shot from the side like that. Often the call is going to go in the offense's favor in that situation.
So Pockernick to the line for a couple. Makes the first. She was the MVP of last year's U Sports Final 8 tournament as Carleton won their second title. Now up to 19 points here this afternoon. 65-49 Ravens with just over 7 left. Raffler now for Gobet. The Kamloops product runs into trouble. Oh, she got through somehow and scored.
Great balance there. Keep your pivot foot, wait for the defense to adjust. Muscles through.
Pockernick a little bit chaotic there. Loses the handle and it'll be a turnover. The thing about most of the Carleton turnovers is they haven't been those catastrophic ones that have led to runouts for UFV.
Yeah, especially when you've got the press like Carleton does. You turn over the ball in the corner there, and they're like, "Oh, we're comfortable slowing things down and digging in."
Tuchscherer. Now Gobet. Screen set by Raffler. Sadu. Kabuko in tight, and that one's going to slip through the fingers of Raffler. Callie Pockernick. Donato trying to get by the defender, and it looked like Kabuko had decent position, maybe didn't get the feet set. 4th foul now on Kabuko. Second foul of the quarter against the Cascades. And Kabuko's going to have to come out, I think, for a couple of minutes anyway. Carleton 14 on the clock as they inbound. Donato. Wisa. Pockernick. 3 on the shot clock. Pockernick for 3. That'll drop. Defense backed right off, and she took what they gave her.
Just lulled her defender to sleep, and again, that hesitation move. It's just, it's unlike anything we've seen from any other guard at the U Sports level. She's just such a talented scorer.
Driving Sadu off the glass, won't go. Raffler fighting for a rebound. And this one is going to be, we'll say it's a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointing towards the Ravens at the moment, so they'll get the ball. Like a simultaneous tap out. There's another look at that Pockernick 3. Such a sweet stroke. He's on the ball here. Gets by 1, kicks it out. Donato. Down low, great pass. Poulin just couldn't finish. Or sorry, 6 is Burke. Gobet, nice little hezzy there. Ran into Urban, and she draws the foul. Gobet will go to the line for 2. Quick breather here for Pockernick, I'm sure. Burke comes out as well. Maddie Gobet, the Kamloops product, at the line, rattles the first one in. Second one goes as well, 15-point game, and 15 is how many points Maddie Gobet has. Here's Donato, opposite corner, Poulin for 3. A little bit of a line drive that wouldn't fall. Gobet, as the Cascades have half a quarter left to find a way back into this one. Gobet fakes, trying to work with Tuchscherer here, and good hands, knocked it away. 3 on the shot clock. Sadu in trouble, played it below, and that's going to be a turnover. Carleton's defense once again so stingy. And we get a timeout here. Take a quick break. And we'll be right back. 68-53, Carleton in front here on CBC Sports. Just having a look at some of the highlights from this one between the Cascades and Ravens. Carleton up by 15 here with 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Grayson and Eric here with you on CBC. Hope you're having a good Thursday from wherever you're watching all across our great country. First of 4 quarterfinals here on a Thursday. We'll have 2 consolation semis tomorrow. And then the consolation final, semifinals on Saturday before the bronze and gold medal games on Sunday. Donato just had to heave one up to beat the shot clock. Cascades will race the other way. Here's Letta, what a move! And she scores! That is pretty!
Oh, we saw the hesitation move a couple of possessions ago. This one was even nastier in transition. It's so hard as a defender when you're backpedaling to try to keep up with the little head fakes like that. So really good job as an offense to make that happen.
Teresa Donato works it into the corner. This is Poulin. She's had a really strong game for Carleton. Thrown up by Donato again. Ravens using all 24 seconds of that shot clock. The clock is their friend at the moment, and that turnover is not their friend, however.
Let me tell you, if you're coaching at usually the Division I level where you regularly have the TV timeout, or at the pro level, and now that we just saw it here at the Final 8, when you're down in the fourth quarter, there's nothing like that TV timeout where you don't have to use a timeout to gather yourself, get focused, and we see Fraser Valley out of that TV timeout, really good defensive possession, get a stop, and then they get that bucket in transition. This is the time they've got to try to make something happen, and to be able to do that without needing to call a timeout. Now they still have 2 remaining. Let's see what they can do.
Gobe, Julia Tuchscher, good block. Jacqueline Urban with the denial. But a steal right back by Letta. Sidhu, actually gonna get called for a travel here. But the ball knocked away as she left her feet, caught it again, and went to resume her dribble.
Bit of a broken play here as you see the ball poked away. Try to get things up in transition quickly. Maybe would have been better off just content with possession, but in that moment you're looking for a quick score, especially when you're down.
Pockernick sizing up Letta. Gets a screen from Urban, who rolls to the basket. Buisa kicks it out. Poulin fakes. Now down low. Duvnak off the glass and in. Just patient offense from Carleton.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, it's not unique to this team. It's been the way that their program's built for so long. It's physical play on the inside. It's going to go the other way.
Julia Tuchscher just a little bit too strong there, and there's that elbow again for Jacqueline Urban. It's had a rough afternoon here for 22.
Well, again, we've talked about the size advantage for the Cascades on the inside, and it's been her who's had to put up with guarding some bigger players that are constantly trying to duck in, play physically. So we've seen she's got battle scars for it, but she has played a tremendous game, doing exactly what the Ravens have needed from her.
And 12 points on the offensive end as well for Urban. Pokranik. Again guarded by Letta. Now a switch, Sidhu. Open three for Buisa, will instead drive, kick it out for Poulin. Poulin gets into the lane, out for Pokranik, lets it fly, that'll go! Callie Pokranik, 25.
25, and it doesn't even look like she's broke a sweat tonight.
No.
The game just comes so easily to her, and you've seen she hasn't been hunting shots. The ball just has found her at the end of clocks, and she just hits 3 after 3, and most of them don't even touch the rim.
Deanna Tuchscherer can't hit from the elbow. Ravens will, again, use up as much of the clock as they can. Pokranik calls for Urban to come out and lend a hand. Cross-court feed, bouncing around. Deanna Tuchscherer picks it up, and then she gets fouled by Poulin. Do we have another unsportsmanlike here?
Yeah, it's so difficult when there's those changes of possessions as a defensive player. You play aggressively on the ball. Somewhat of a recent rule change. We'll see it here. Change of possession. She reaches out and grabs the ball, or makes a play on the ball. Maybe in my opinion, who's not always the biggest fan of the FIBA rule, if you can read between the lines. But yeah, it's a play that they will call consistently, and at this point, it might not matter too much, but we'll see if there's a little bit of magic.
Tuchscherer made the first, missed the second. Again, Cascades have possession on the sideline. Rathler comes in for Tuchscherer. Gobet guarded tightly there by Buisa, and it's going to be a turnover. Dorcas Buisa.
Now as Buisa kind of runs things from the point guard position, I just have to say again how impressed I am with the depth, particularly the backcourt of the Ravens. And they just made it so difficult for the opposing guards on the Cascades from a defensive end, not to take away from what they did from the offense as well. And again, just as a group, so athletic, so long, and you can see exactly how that the roster has been built, going after a certain kind of player and one that they can have a lot of success with, just rolling out in waves, these kind of similar guards.
Possession for the Cascades here on a jump ball situation. Final minute of this one. Bernie Letta in for Duralia, dishes, Rathler couldn't get the and one, but she will shoot a pair. Take another look, Rathler with a nice drive, and it's going to be Duvnak called for the foul.
She's had a number of really nice cuts in this game, and again, when you play through the post as much as the Cascades do, there's oftentimes those little dump-off passes. So she's had some really nice, timely cuts that have not fallen for her a lot, and there at least she gets the foul to get to the line. But been impressed with some of the IQ of some of those plays.
Hits both her free throws. Rathler, those are her first 2 points of the game. Buisa. Again, no real hurry here from the Ravens as they milk the clock. Donato driving. Might have got away with the travel, but Flynn can get up, rebound, and it's Duvnak. Gobet. Rathler flings it down low, and it hit a Raven player on the way out of bounds. Couple of late game appearances for Miranda Navarro Perez and Gabrielle Francis for Carleton. Both BC products. Miranda from Victoria and Gabrielle from North Vancouver. So about as close to home as they're going to get to play this season. Gobet. Sidhu down low looking for Duralia. That's broken up once again. And the Ravens can dribble this one out once they get over the timeline. And Carleton looking to defend their bronze baby title. Get off to a good start. They win the opener 75-58. They'll play in the first semifinal on Saturday. That will be at 6 o'clock local, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Meanwhile, Fraser Valley drops the consolation bracket. They will play tomorrow in a consolation semi at 5 o'clock local, 4 o'clock Pacific. Eric, what did you make of this one?
Oh, I think just an awfully impressive performance by the Ravens, who, I'm not even sure we necessarily got their A game, and still they had such a dominant performance. And they can win with their offense, and they can win with their defense. And I think in this game, it was really the defense that was impressive. The ball pressure of the guards, the ability to battle inside with some more bigger physical players of the Cascades. But I think they've also got another gear they can go to offensively. We didn't see them shoot the three as well as they normally did, so it might be scary for their next opponent, but I think we could see an even more dominant Carleton performance. But really impressed by what they brought this afternoon.
We've got the Booster Juice players of the game coming out, and we also will have a post-game interview as well, so stick around for that. UFV Booster Juice player of the game is number 10, Julia Teuchscherer. And why not? 15 points to lead the Cascades. Co-leader with Maddie Gobet. 13 rebounds as well, as Teuchscherer collects a double-double here in this quarterfinal.
Yeah, really a tremendous game, especially even in the first quarter when there wasn't a lot going for the Cascades, but they knew they could get it inside to her, and someone that you could play through or also could get her own on the offensive glass.
And Callie Pockernick, what more to say about it? The captain for the Ravens, 25 points, along with 3 rebounds and a couple of steals for number 4. She is the Booster Juice player of the game for Carleton.
Yeah, just plays such a mature game. Again, I mentioned it during the game. It just never even seemed like she really broke a sweat. The game comes so easily to her. She plays with her head up, whether it was going to get her own bucket or hitting a deep skip with her offhand with some incredible passing ability. She's as good of a guard as there is in the country, and I think we're really treated to a special performance today.
What about the Cascades? What are you looking for from them as they look to rebound on the consolation side?
I still look at a game like this and think, hey, they have an advantage in the inside. They have some very dominant post players. So I'm just looking to see how can they leverage that. How can that be something that is really a difference maker against their next opponent. I thought in the first half, they were able to really take advantage of that, but maybe ran out of a little bit of steam to do that in the second. So if they can kind of play on that advantage for 40 minutes, that could be a lot of success.
Looks like we're going to get a couple of Ravens players here coming up. We're unfortunately going to have to ask Eric to step aside for a quick moment. I believe they're getting Poulin for the French broadcast. I think we're getting Callie Pockernick. Waiting for people to make their way up here to the media table. And Callie is joining us now. We'll get her to throw on a headset. I'm pleased to be joined by Callie Pockernick. First of all, congratulations on the victory. How did you see things from your perspective this afternoon?
From my perspective, I feel like UFV, they're a really tough team, so we're really focusing on just playing as a team mostly. They have really good bigs, and we really tried to support our teammates down low because we knew they had a little bit of a size advantage on us, but it was a tough game. They're a great team. They really gave us a run for our money, so it was great. It was fun.
You guys come in as the defending champions, obviously a little bit of a target on the back. Are you guys feeling that pressure a little bit at all?
A little bit, but we try every day in practice to mimic, really high pressure moments like this. So I feel like we've really been preparing as a team for this, and we're just really excited and happy to be here.
What's something that you guys are going to look for in the next game to work on and improve?
Work on and improve, I think talking a big thing this year was our communication that we've been trying to work on. So I feel like if we really focus on that as a team, we'll be facing really good teams. So that communication is going to be key for us, and just, you know, having fun and being the tougher team.
Yeah, well, your next opponent is on the floor right now. We're getting ready to warm up. You can see Queens again. You can see a very good St. Mary's team from Atlantic Canada as well. Well, Callie, congratulations on the victory, and congratulations on a great season. Best of luck the rest of the way forward.
Thank you so much.
Callie Pockernick joining us here post-game as we wrap up our coverage here from the first quarterfinal. Again, we've got a second one coming up in about 20 minutes or so from now. And that'll feature the number 3 seed, the St. Mary's Huskies from Atlantic Canada, up against the OUA runners-up, the Queens Gales. That should be a good one, starting at approximately 20 minutes or so from now. So on behalf of our entire crew here at the Saville Centre and my great color commentator Eric Fawcett, my name is Grayson Knutson. We'll see you back here shortly for the second quarterfinal of the day at the 2024 Women's Final 8, presented by the West in Edmonton.